Hi everyone. So today we are going to get a piece of paper, and yours is not going to have this on it, but this is what we're going to try to keep in mind today when we do our dry brush on top of our dragon eyes. We are going to dip, dry, and apply. So how we're going to do that is you are going to get a few colors, 3 colors plus white on a piece of paper, a very little bit because you only need a tiny bit. I probably did a little too much white over there. You're going to get a stiff brush because we don't want a soft brush like we had last time to fill in all the cracks when we're doing dry brush. Now we already have our base color, but you're going to want to mix your tertiary colors that you had on either side that created all those analogous colors. And I do have white if you want to lighten some of them up. So if I want to start by doing maybe like a light blue, I can just mix it over here. Now I could have that be like a blue violet. You only need the tiniest bit for this. And then I'm going to, you could do it on this paper, or you can get a paper towel, which I'll have some of those out. And you're going to wipe it. So you're going to dip, dry, and apply. Dip, dry, and apply. So for that, I think I need a little bit more. I think I wiped it a little too much. So I dip it, I dry it, and then I apply it. So you will still see, here it's coming up nicely, you will still see your base color in some areas, especially like the areas that you won't be able to reach. Dip, dry, by going back and forth, and apply. So here I might want to do like a fade. You can get really creative with how you're painting, but you only should have a little paint on your brush. So the paint, it's gonna go by pretty quick because just the tiniest bit of paint will really get me a long way. So I'm not gonna have to go back in and really dry my brush that much. You might wanna pick it up, kind of like how I'm doing over here. And now I'm running out. So I might have to go back in here. You wanna coat the whole brush, but then you wanna kind of go back and forth and get most of it off. And then I can fill in some of these areas. So you're gonna start with one color and then it's up to you where you wanna do the next color. So I'm gonna finish up with this blue part and then I'll show you the next color I might introduce. Now I have my blue violet and some blue on top of the violet. Now I'm not gonna do red and blue together because that wasn't a part of my color scheme. That's why you're gonna wanna have your sketchbook out. But I could do red violet, which I have right over here. So I'm gonna get a little bit of red, I'm gonna get a tiny bit of purple. You're not gonna need any water for this because you're using such little paint. And then I'm going to kind of wipe it off a little bit. And now I can use that dry brush and do that on top of this part. So I wanted to have this part. I did a little fade between the blue violet and this light blue over here. And then here, I'm going to do that that red violet on top. So now I'm just gonna speed that up. Now, if you notice, when I started to add on that red violet, I felt like it was a little too dark and I wanted it to pop more. So that's why I added a touch of white into that little mixture. And again, a tiniest paint goes a long way. And then I dipped, I dried it a few times, and then I applied it. And then I got this really nice red violet that was a little more poppy and light. And so I can see it a little bit more on top of my colors, and then I could still have that nice fade out. So again, today we're dip, drying, and applying. We're using this paper. You really don't need a paper towels, but if you want, you can get one. We're only using the colors that we had on our planning sheet. So that would be your base color and then the tertiary colors that created that whole analogous color scheme. Next class, we will be able to add a little bit more paint if we need, and we're going to get a metallic that we can add on with maybe some type of glimmer or shimmer that we can put on top. Have fun.